important invoices or claims get automatically picked up from there, possibly converted to searchable PDF, and even added into a given Lotus Notes application of your choosing, setting off a workflow there. So there you have a very nice automated inbound workflow. And for mixed environments that also employ Microsoft Exchange, of course, ePDF can also be connected within an Exchange server to certain mailboxes, public folders, and the like. And pretty much everything that can be used to submit jobs or as used as a source to pull documents from can also be a destination or a delivery point, such as, picking up something in the hot folder, in a file folder, and delivering it outbound via email to a given email address. So that gives a pretty simple overview here as to how to utilize the service in a very easy fashion. This is a little more detail now on using ePDF with an existing Lotus Notes application. Lotus Notes applications can be custom made within your organization or could be purchased from third parties with or without accessible design. Generally, there is no need to program or change code or redesign any application. It is really just configuring a rule as to how and where to find the source documents, what to do with them, and where to put the results. It's that simple, and that can be, as earlier described already, set off via email. You could have an application that is mail incapable, and ePDF monitors that application, or ePDF provides the entire mailing capability already. So you wouldn't even have to take care of that as well. I've mentioned database monitoring, which means nothing other but connecting the ePDF service to any given application, and there can be multiple concurrent connections. So you could have 5 servers and 15 applications spread amongst these servers, and ePDF could have dedicated rules set up for each and every of these applications, and independently and concurrently process these workflows or document processings in these applications as each individual user is not even noticing that other applications are being served at the same time. For more sophisticated and more customer control to that ePDF service, the software also offers integration points such as a command line interface or an API, which on a practical level isn't really necessary, but some custom applications or custom developers would like to have more control as to how jobs are submitted and how the results are being received. Of course, there's also a web integration or a web access to that service, as mentioned before, which could tie in nicely with a given application that in the Notes backend has other purposes than in the web front end. For example, a public audience uses a web front end, and the organizational, the internal audience or users are using the Notes backend, and ePDF can simply be connected to that on both levels. There's also a way of using or utilizing the service directly from within Microsoft Office, but that mainly provides convenience to pick up files and documents that are created in Microsoft Office and make them subject to a rule-based conversion and transformation right from the user's desktop. Here's an illustration how ePDF may be used at the email gateway. The email gateway is here represented in the center of the picture by that router mailbox, which represents the Domino server, and there are some specifics here which you could, if that is of interest to you, later look up in the transcript of this presentation, how to combine the onboard capabilities of a Lotus Domino server to filter emails, and then have ePDF pick up on those filtered and screened emails and treat the attachments as per the rules that you set up. It could not be simpler, and it's a very powerful compliance and secure document security use case using it at the email gateway. Well, also mentioned before here is an illustration how it appears to the user if an entire Lotus Notes application is retired by converting each individual document into a PDF file. And even, and this should at least anyone that has that use case get really excited and even treat the attachments, the file attachments at the same time and embed them in the resulting PDF file. So you would then have a PDF file of every notes document that has the same original attachments as the Lotus Notes document, just now being represented as a PDF file. And that is now what we're seeing here on the next slide. I'm trying to highlight this here a little bit and guide you through that overlay picture. So here we have the source Lotus Notes document, this being just a generic document from a Lotus Notes database that has a file attachment, in that case an image file, this JPEG here. Once the database has been processed, all documents such as this one end up in a file system structure or in a folder structure, which resembles the view that we were just seeing from your original database. And each document, as you can see here, that invoice 2010 is then represented by a PDF file that, if you choose so, has all the file attachments of that original document attached, embedded in that PDF file. So I'm going to leave the annotation tool here and get to the next slide. This is a very powerful automation capability to retire entire Lotus Notes applications for the purpose of getting all the documents, including all file attachments, out of an existing application, to no longer have to even have a Domino server for this application to host it, rather than just integrate it in your existing document management system or just in a web server to have it retrievable and usable in the form of PDF files that come as a familiar folder structure, because this folder structure resembles what your original application was looking like in their main views. If you then all of a sudden now think that how you got along without it so far, then immediately the need or the requirement comes up to scale this capability to capacity. So if you would then have numerous workflows running through that service on a daily basis, you would want to make sure that ePDF is also doing that in a timely fashion. And this is why this illustration simply is showing that ePDF is designed to scale basically to endless volumes. The capability of ePDF can be stacked. So let's say an individual instance of ePDF can handle 1,000 documents an hour. If you need a peak capacity of 10,000 documents an hour, for example, if an insurance company or if a legal firm has peak loads on certain days in the week where they need to process a large stack of documents, then just needs to stack ePDF engines, basically instances. They can be virtualized to scale to capacity. And of course, there are several ways of adding capacity. It could be that they can transparently be stacked up, so they appear as one service to the outside, or have the capacity of multiple engines, and or it could be individual discrete instances that each are purpose specific, so as to, for example, one installation serves the finance department and another maybe the service department, with, again, then different workflows amongst those departments or for those departments per installation, just as to have enough capacity to do these processings in a timely fashion. All the benefits are pretty obvious once we have gone through the various use cases. First of all, it is very easy to use. There is almost no learning curve to employ or deploy this service, the software, as the user is utilizing ePDF through generic known interfaces such as emails, such as existing Lotus Notes applications and or file system shares. So it's easy to use once these rules and processes are set, and they can be set by just click and point. There is no programming needed, and at no point there is programming needed. And once they are set, you can forget about them, and they will handle these particular processes every time the same. It saves staff time. That's just a reiteration through earlier mentioned benefits or value that ePDF adds. If you take away tedious document assembly time from knowledge workers in engineering departments and risk management departments and legal and in finance firms, if legal paralegals or attorneys no longer need to assemble their document packages manually with typically desktop tools, and this immediately increases productivity and sets free time that could be better used for those people, for those knowledge workers to create content and actually work their knowledge instead of producing documents. Very importantly, leverage existing Lotus Notes applications. By complementing an existing Lotus Notes application that at this point lacks document processing capabilities and conversion capabilities, even new applications can be created by just adding the ePDF to existing applications or to existing standard Lotus Notes databases. And all of a sudden now they can be full-fledged document lifecycles that can be configured due to the seamless integration with Lotus Notes applications. Fast return on investment, I've touched on that before. Simply due to the quick setup, no programming required, and easy configuration, the minute ePDF is started the first time, it starts earning back its money. And that is what in many organizations immediately generates value to enhance the organizational capabilities and efficiency. Yeah, and again here, repetitively ensuring compliance. This may be one thing that you either be very fond of or not at all. But in any case, since it is done, just as mentioned in the first point here, set it and forget it, it is no longer a hassle, it's no longer a tedious chore to ensure and maintain compliance, rather than it's basically a business intelligence requirement that you can configure and then rest assured that it is being maintained. And of course, ePDF is basically suited for any type of organization, whether in the private or the public sector, of all sizes, large number of users or small, it doesn't matter. It basically is relevant as to how many and how diverse document-driven processes the organization has to fulfill and has to run as to the value that ePDF adds to it. Particular if an email management solution needs to be complemented with the convert capabilities of Lotus Notes, emails, and or the attachments, that is something that an organization might have and require.